Okay, you guys should be able to hear me now. Let me know if you still can't. Um, Not really sure what the problem is with Discord. Can you hear me? Okay, cool.
Hear you loud and clear.
Okay, cool. All right, so I guess let's go back to into what I was saying. So I'll shorten it up because I kind of went into a longer spiel about that. So I had posted in the Discord, and I'll pull this up real quick so you guys can see it. Um, I might have to airdrop it to myself. Give me a moment. So I went through and took a look at the different signals in regards to after hours and the not after hours, right? So let's do this. I need to quit my Discord. Okay. So if we look here, so what this is a breakdown of each time frame. So this is a 15-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour. Okay. Same thing here. This is ES, this is NQ. So this says SPX and NDX just for simplicity, but really what this is meant to do is I want you to be able to see that, okay, so I took QQQ for this, okay, and I took SPY for this. So when I'm looking at this, 10 points in ES is $1 in SPY. Okay, so you see SPY move $1, that is 10 points in ES. Vice versa, NQ, if this moves 42 points, okay, then this, the QQQ moves about $1. Okay, it's 42 and a half to be exact. So that's the difference between these. Okay. The next thing that I want to go over is this number over here. So I took the average return based on when the squeeze fires off and the return that it will give you. And then I ran the numbers in terms of return. Okay. So what I want you guys to see here is that the 15-minute you get 8 points return. So that's less than $1 on SPY. So if you just took SPY, this would be 25 points return in ES. Okay. 30-minute. So almost a little over 3 times the amount return. Okay. If you focus on the cash charts, so this is the after hours. These two are after hours. This is the cash session charts only. So this is like a 30-minute squeeze without the after hours. This is a squeeze with the not after hours. And so when you're looking at this, you can see this 30-minute, it's double the return. 60-minute, it's a little over double the return. 240, about 1.5 times the amount. Or sorry, 120. And then the 240, it's over double in the amount return. So NQ and NDX, so this is almost 3 times the amount. This 30-minute is 3 times the amount. This here is like 1.5 times the amount. Now, if it's a red dot squeeze, it's going to give you 301 points on average. So about 3 times the amount this, a little bit over. And then the 112 or the 120-minute, so the 2 hour, will give you like 2.4 times return. And then the 4 hour will give you about 2.5 return. Okay. So that's that. Let me know if that doesn't make sense, but that's essentially the after hours average return off of a squeeze firing. And then this is the cash session. Okay. So let's look at the trade that we took earlier this week. So the trade that we took earlier this week was a 15-minute squeeze, and we had a short signal right here. Okay.
Hi,
So
morning.
we went short here, caught this move down. And if we were to take the after hours off NQ and look at the points return there, you would see that we have this ended up being roughly 413 points in NQ. So it absolutely a huge move. You can pass an evaluation in 2 trades easy with that. And this is how I passed my evaluation. And then I started trading the after hours charts, and then I started looking at it and I was like, this is not as good. So it's going to be less opportunities, but it's going to be better, higher quality, big move trades that you'll be able to catch. So now I thought I got some information that we were getting a sell signal somewhere in here. Okay, so we have a 2-hour sell signal and a 4-hour sell signal. A little too extended for me to enter, but if we pull back into like this area of kind of supply where there's a lot of resistance, I think that's a pretty solid place to go short, right around there. So if we still have the sell signals, the 4-hour and the 2-hour, I'm likely going to want to get short and trade the short side here. Microsoft. Okay, so Microsoft had some sell signals into the end of yesterday. It's kind of already making its move. I just decided not to take it for whatever reason. I didn't really have a good reason, but it's ending up flushing and having a really nice move down. I'm not a big fan of shorting stocks, but the way I've seen things move lower has kind of made me lean towards maybe I should be shorting more stock because it ends up making, like you can see here, we're absolutely just dumping. And similar thing happened with NVIDIA earlier this week. I just decided not to short it on these sell signals, and we had a 10% move down. And so I may give it a little more consideration. Amazon, rough move here. One thing, if you guys took XLP, you'd be up very nicely from the alert that I posted in the watch list column, or not the watch list column, the my watch list channel. I was telling you that XLP and XLV were setting up into the close. XLP has a really good setup. Now we can just break this down. We had a 4-hour buy, so you could see this resistance was acting as key resistance right here. We had a 4-hour buy signal. We had a 2-hour buy signal. We had a 1-hour buy signal. We had buy signals. And yeah, so we had all of the buy signals on all of those time frames. And then also we had 2-day buy signals, 3-day. Oh, no, we didn't have 3-day. But then we had weekly buy signals as well. So this was a really nice play. My initial target was the 1272 extension from this move. And if we wanted to take another fib extension here. Okay, so it's hitting the 1272 right now of this extension right here. And then it looks like this lines up pretty well with this 1/6 from this retracement lines up pretty well with the retracement here. So that looks pretty good. So I think the next target would be somewhere up in here. Another sector that we were looking at was XLV. This one I decided not to go with because we do have earnings coming up. And
What is that?
we have earnings coming up. And so we kind of have to shy away from that. It's a really strong, great looking chart. One tip that I can give you guys that I have been liking using is the 5 EMA and the 8 EMA. I've been kind of using these as momentum gauges. Typically, a stock will hold these if they have strong momentum, and they will be, if we have strong momentum, you can kind of see these angled to the upside and pointing upwards. So I do really like this as a, this has kind of been my layout. Now, that's just a helpful tool that I like to use. But this one, we had 4-hour buy signals. We still do. We have 2-hour buy signals. We have 1-hour buy signals, and we have 30-minute buy signals. So pretty much every time frame is looking good. The only thing is the same thing with XLP we took earlier this week was that we have earnings coming out in the major names. So the top two holdings in this is UNH, which this chart looks excellent. Okay, so their earnings is not coming out. what was the earnings that was coming? It was UNH and Eli Lilly. Okay, so yeah, this one has earnings in a couple days. So I've kind of shied away from that and just kind of wait till after this, see if it's still setting up, and then run with it. Okay, so Netflix has some sell signals. It's breaking this key support. We had been talking about this one for quite some time. The sell signals have been printing for a few weeks. So it had earnings, then we had sell signals, and it's continuing to trade lower. And now we had this flush down into support here. And if we break the support, we've got clear rain to back to the 618, which is $600. So we could see like $15 drop in Netflix if it continues lower. So those are the things I'm looking at. I think what I want to do, let's pull up Thinkorswim, and so we can look at the full layout and kind of go over this. If you guys have anything you want me to look at, please put it in the chat and we can cover that.
Okay.
ES is setting up. Okay, so yeah, well, we have sell signals on the 2-hour and 4-hour. So I do think this is valid to short it. So it's just the risk to reward is not that great from this standpoint. But I do think that what you could do is maybe take it and trail it based on the 5-minute 21. Let me get everything loaded up here. Yeah, so you could look to short this one, and then maybe just use this 0.5 retracement as the resistance that you want to use, and then you could short it from there. I think that that might actually be a pretty nice play in terms of managing risk. Let's take a look. Yeah, so the question, I'm in crowd and you're up nicely. Yeah, so what I would be doing is just simply trailing your stop off the 1 minute. For me, I'm probably gonna, let's see what SPY puts look like.
Okay.
Now this is extended, so we could end up getting caught in this. So actually, I think what I like is going short here with a stop above this, because this could very well be a trending day to the downside. So I think that we could use a tight stop and be just fine. Because we've got the sell signals. It's not like I want to just miss out on the trade, you know. But we would just have to manage our risk more effectively. So we're kind of trading at the low. Now, did we break this low? There's the low. Okay, so maybe we look for, we can get like a 2-minute sell signal. That might be the move. We can just trade this short based on that. So 2-minute doesn't have one. The 1-minute doesn't have one. 5-minute. I think it might be valid to just have a stop right below or right above this right here. And just look for a continuation to the downside. We've got a lot of weakness here. So I think a pretty good stop would be above the high from since we've opened. Probably a safe place to do your stop loss, or below the support here, or above the support as a tighter stop. Okay, so next, let's take a look at the board. Never loads up very well when we're okay, so Thinkorswim is not loading up with being on Zoom as well. So we may have to not do that today. So we're getting a little bit of a bounce here. And we're testing that 21. I'm thinking we can get some good volume on this. It may flush to the downside. We'll see. And maybe we go test that low. Yeah, so that's probably a great place above there to have your stop. See where's the put call thing up at. Put call is pretty high. So close to your stop. Yeah, I mean it's pretty extended where we're at. So I think what you want to look for is the next like 2-minute sell signal, but I also think that we may just flush here. It's really looking like it. So let's see. Maybe we should just do some out of the money puts and look for continuation, at least to this support right here, $1 lower. Yeah, it's going to show high volume a lot of times. I'm thinking it's going to want to flush. It really is looking like it, especially that 5-minute. Just a little extended. But that's pretty clean downtrend. Okay, so QQQ is giving us a sell signal. So we may want to play that one because do we have a 2 hour, 2 hours firing, 4 hours firing? Or wait, no, 4 hour didn't have one. So might be giving us a sell signal here. Yep, there's that flush. Same thing for ES. Nice flush. Congrats, Jim Guy. That was a good trade. Yeah, you can just see that weakness is really rolling through. And it's coming off the back of the 2-hour and the 4-hour sell signals. So that's kind of how you would look to play that. You can see we had some really strong weakness. And then QQQ. There was your 1-minute sell signal, which you could have used as your way to participate in the short. And that was almost a 100-point drop in 2 minutes. So 545 to 468. It's a really nice drop. Okay. Personally, I think I'm just going to be disciplined here and do what I told myself I was going to do and wait on these sell signals that come from the extended or the cash session charts. So that's what I shall do. One contract, 712. Nice. How far are you from finishing your evaluation? 19. Not too bad. So yeah, that move right there was about 100% return in SPY 0 data expiration. This candle right here. Okay. QQQ, blushing. Off that 1-minute sell signal. That worked pretty well. There's your sell signal, 545. Yeah, now you're at a 100-point move on that one. Off 1-minute sell signal. Just a gap down day and then continuation to the downside. NASDAQ is down 3%. That is crazy. And this kind of shows you the power of those signals. XLP still showed up green and gapped up, even as the result of that move. So it slammed right into the target and sold off. How's XLV doing? XLV essentially flat. Meta or Microsoft down pretty bad. What was I gonna look at? How's Netflix doing? Netflix is selling off a bit, trying to break that support. There was your 5-minute sell signal. So that's not a little bit of kind of not advice, but a good way to trade these things is like if you're seeing sell signals on the higher time frame, use the lower time frame to get your entry. Granted, SPY didn't really have one. It didn't really have a sell signal on the 1-minute or the two, like really of these small time frames. But NQ or QQQ did. So it was firing off. Squeeze was firing off to the downside on the 2 hour, which it's doing right now. And then you had 1 minute and 2 minutes firing right now. So there's your 1 minute. And then right there, here's your sell signal. There's the flush to the downside. So that's a good way to do it. So if you're ever looking at something that may be extended, so like we can look at, see what else is going on. And then you can just hop on that 5 minute and you can use that as a way to get short. Here's a good example of Netflix right here of a way to get short. We've been getting sell signals all this time. There's your way to short it. AVGO. Okay, so now it's kind of at the point where we wait for the next opportunity. So I did end up taking XLP. I got out at this resistance here, and now I'm kind of just waiting. I'm going to do some more scans and look for some stuff here. Oh, sorry, I didn't answer your question about crowd. Here you go. Yeah, crowd. Nice. Did you take that off the signals? What was your reasoning for taking that trade? What was your reasoning for taking that trade? The crowd puts these sell signals right here. News in the signals. Okay. Well, yeah, you had some 30-minute sell signals. You had 15-minute sell signals. Yeah, so this was a pretty easy short, especially like you're seeing how hard this has been selling off as a result of that news. It's just been selling off. Yeah, that's exactly what I would do. Use the 1 minute trailing stop because this thing can just keep dumping until 200. But you also are up a lot, so you want to just manage your risk. And you can see it's been holding that 21 EMA this entire time. So you can use that as well. But yeah. So yeah. See if we can spot anything else that we may want to trade. I think at this point it gets a little dicey to try and get short. Trying to trade things that have already made its move. But at 2 hours firing on QQ. Yeah, we're kind of making our move already. So I'm just gonna sit tight for now. And yeah. Oh, and then one other thing that I do that I can mention. So with using this system, there's a couple different variations of stop losses. So there's the trailing stop, and then there's also the 21 EMA. If you are more a risk off person, you can use the 21 EMA as your stop loss and use that as kind of your guide so you don't get caught in a large drawdown because that trailing stop can be quite far away. Calm, I've never heard of this before. Yeah, this has got strength. This is a good momentum play. Starting to get a little choppy right here, but I think if you give it some room, and then look for like 30-minute 1 hour buys, and then you'll go from there. And then you can trade that to the upside. Gonna buy signal on gold. That is probably the cash session or this. Yeah, we're getting a couple buy signals on gold. So 15-minute, 30-minute buy signal. It's like, yeah, 30-minute buy signal, and that's trying to populate, and then 15-minute. So let's keep an eye on this. This could potentially be an opportunity that you may want to take on your own. I'd wait for that 30-minute to confirm that it is a buy signal, and then you can take it long up into this resistance up here. But all right, guys, I think that's all I got for you for now. Yeah, gold is setting up nicely for a long. I see what you're saying. So keep an eye on that. This is a potential setup to trade. And yeah. All right, guys, let me know if you have questions, and I'll see you in the chat.